Hello, my loves. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are not familiar with Faith and Fragrance and what we do around here, what we do is we talk about the two things that I love, which is my love for fragrances and my love for Jesus Christ, okay? And today, all right, we are going to be talking about my top 10 favorite Middle Eastern purchases of 2025, okay? Now, let me preface by saying this is my favorites list, okay, of my purchases, okay, the ones that I spent my points on, okay? So this may not be everybody's favorite and may not be everybody's top 10, but it's mine, okay? And I'm gonna go through each and every one of these fragrances real briefly, keyword briefly, okay? Because each and every one of these I have featured at least once on this channel. So I'm not going to be going over in detail all of the notes for each and every one of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a guide for you guys where I'm going to list the fragrance notes for each and every one of these fragrances, in addition to the video that I've either talked about or mentioned, whether it be a long or short. I will give the breakdown of each fragrance listed in each of my videos so that you can find them on your own if you decide to opt in and have me email it to you, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to link in the description below a landing page where you can opt in to receive this fragrance guide. And what I've decided to do is basically make this guide like an evergreen ongoing guide where each and every video that I do, I'm gonna do a breakdown of each fragrance I feature in each and every one of those videos, in addition to the fragrance notes and the overall essence of the fragrance and what you can expect of it. Just like a brief overview, if you will, okay, for each of those videos that I post from now on out. So if you want to keep receiving those emails from me, stay subscribed. If you don't want to receive any emails from me, feel free to opt out as soon as you get your guide, if that is something that you want. Either way, I would love to have you around here because we are making this Faith and Fragrance family official, okay? All right, so with all of that being said, we're gonna jump right in because I believe within my soul that this is gonna finally be the video that I get under 20 minutes, okay? Now, if you're watching this and it's already above said 20 minutes, that means that I did not achieve my said goal, okay? What I need you to do is be easy in the comments. Don't judge, girl. We tried our best. But I be talking too much. But without further ado, let's hop right into this one, okay? Okay, so the first one that we're gonna be talking about on today, okay, is going to be an honorary fragrance, okay? So it's not in the top 10 only because I literally just got this fragrance in the mail today. So I have not had a chance to keep it long enough where I can like really benefit and know the wearing experience. But I've had a sample and that sample is top 10 worthy. So I felt like I couldn't do this video without featuring that fragrance. And that fragrance is none other than Teriaq Intense by Lattafa. Okay, now this one listen, this one is a spicy, fruity, plummy fragrance. It's ambery plum spices, right? And for some reason this made me feel like plum should be in every fragrance, and I don't know why. I'm not a plum lover, okay? I don't buy plums from the grocery store, okay? I never thought that I would like that note, but the way that it's done in this one, my God, it's like a dark, mysterious fragrance, right? Like one that you want to wear to some type of gala or night, gala, whatever you want to call it. Gala, don't come for me, okay? Tomato, okay? but it's one of those that you want to wear to some type of elevated event. It's giving, I'm elevated around these streets. I'm not basic. Who did you think you were talking to? Okay, try the next one. That's what this one is giving to me. So like I said, I haven't had it in my collection too long. I just got this one in the mail. I've been rocking my sample, and that sample has been doing right by me. But when I get a chance to wear this one out, I will come back and tell you guys how I feel about this. You know, am I getting the compliments? Am I like what we're doing? But this seems to be a crowd favorite. A lot of you guys have already had this one in your collection, and I've just been the one who's been asleep. But I have woken up, trust and believe, okay? So that is my honorary feature, okay? Teriaq Intense. Now we're moving on to the next one. Okay, so for this next one, since we're already on the topic of new fragrances to hit my collection, I want to talk about another one that is new to my collection that has getting my whole entire life in order and together, and that is Dream of Haze. Okay, now if you're subscribed and you just so happen to see my most recent, or one of my most recent shorts, you know what this said fragrance be doing to my life. Okay, let me spray it out for y'all. Listen, this one just make me want to shimmy. Okay, just okay. Ooh, it just made me want to do something. Okay, keep your mind out together. Okay, we saved around these parts. Okay, this one, it puts me in a different universe. Okay, because what it does, it opens up pretty, like with this masculine open, because it features a lot of masculine notes like lavender, and I think it has an apple shisha accord and a whole bunch of other kind of like masculine leaning fragrance, like leaning notes. But it has this sweet undertone that as it starts to mature more, because when I first got my notes on this, I was using a sample that already had the chance to mature and get its juices in order. And what I've noticed is that sample that I got was a lot smoother than what it smells like in here, but you still get that essence. Like the first day you spray it out, you still get that essence. But I just want to caution you that if you get this one before you let it sit and simmer and let it be for like at least 2 weeks to a month, you may feel like, okay, this is cute, I like this, but I don't understand the hype, if you will. Okay, but once this one simmers and it comes together, it smooths out, and it just has this intoxicating, mysterious, smooth, almost vanillic feel. Now, when I looked at the notes, it did not feature vanilla in the notes, but for some reason it's giving me like a vanilla vibe, if you will. But yeah, this one, if you have not gotten your nose on it, I suggest getting your nose on this one, because this one has been getting my whole life together, and I wish that I had it earlier in 2025, other than just 2 weeks before this thing ended. Okay, so yeah, that is Dream of Haze by Lattafa. So for this next one, I figured since the first two that I've mentioned are a little bit more masculine leaning, if you will, I figured I would stay in that same vein. This one I wouldn't say is masculine leaning per se. I would say it's unisex, but this one would definitely smell good on a man and a woman. I like it, I love it, but I do see this being maybe a tad bit more masculine leaning than the other ones that I'm going to talk about. But the next one that I want to talk about is none other than Mashrabya by Lattafa. Okay, as you can see, Lattafa has been getting my whole edges, okay, this year. They've been doing a lot. I would say majority of these fragrances just so happen to be Lattafa fragrances, but I got some others coming that are not Lattafa per se. But yeah, Lattafa has definitely been dominating in the year 2025 for sure. Okay, now mind you, I don't know if all of these are 2025 releases. I just know that they have all been purchases that I've made in 2025. So yeah, I believe especially a few of them I know are not releases from the year 2025. But either way, Mashrabya. Let's talk about her. Or him. I don't know what you want to call it. I think it's a her. I forgot, y'all. I forgot how much I love. Matter of fact, this one is the one I'm wearing today. Spray me down. Spray me down, baby. Listen, this one, y'all, this one is giving apple hookah on a special occasion type of day. Like, even though this is giving apple hookah, this is not basic apple hookah in your average hookah lounge on a Friday night. That's not what this is. This is apple hookah at a 5-star club in a high rise where it's invite only and you're hanging out with the elites of the world. I don't know if that makes sense, okay? This one is an elevated, smoky oud fragrance, okay? And you really get that apple shisha in the top throughout the longevity of the fragrance, okay? And I think that's what sets this one apart or makes this one a little bit different than the other fragrance that I mentioned, Dream of Haze, that features apple shisha as well. That one is not as prominent as this one is. This one you're getting like a oudie tobacco hookah type feel and vibe. And you're gonna get that throughout the fragrance, okay? And it's like this juicy apple versus Dream of Haze, you're not really gonna smell it as much. But yeah, this one, I'm not really typically like a fruity girl, but I think it's the smokes of all of this and the tobacco and whatever other sweet notes that are lingering in the back of this that makes this one a little bit more mature, less like a frou-frou la-la type fragrance, which is why it would smell good on a man, woman, whatever, okay? I love this one. This one has definitely gotten all my edges together, and it will continue to be one of my staples throughout 2026 and beyond, okay? So yeah, Mashrabya by Lattafa. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one on my list is another one that just so happens to be a very unisex fragrance, which I feel like is a more feminine leaning fragrance, but PDM tends to disagree. And that is none other than Liquid Brun by French Avenue. I hope y'all see that one, okay? So Liquid Brun is a dupe or is an inspired by fragrance that will put you in the mind frame of Altair by PDM. Now, Altair is a fragrance that is marketed to the men's, but I claim that one for myself. But I really feel like that one is more of a unisex fragrance, if not more of a feminine. I don't know. It's non-discriminatory because men love this one too. Let me spray this out so y'all can get an understanding, okay? Listen, okay. Let me tell you what you're going to get from this one. This one is like a woodsy praline fragrance, if that makes sense. It's a vanilla praline woodsy fragrance. And I think it's those woods and those spices that give it more of a masculine edge. But like I said, this one, all the women be going crazy for this one. This one, my best friend had came over to my house to spray and smell all my fragrances, and she said that this one was her favorite. And I have to agree, like when I first got my on that PDM fragrance, Altair, I was just so enthralled. Like I was just like, every time I got a whiff of it, I was like, what magic is in the air? Please give it back to me, please. And so I was preparing to set aside the coinage to get that this winter. But when I found out that they had a clone, okay, that they said was giving you Altair, I said I gotta get it. And when I say it does not disappoint, it does not disappoint. If you like that Altair fragrance and you like that sweet, creamy, vanilla, praline, woodsy essence that's just so intoxicating and so addictive, and you're just not ready to spend the coins on Altair, I suggest getting your nose on this one because it may just get your whole entire life together, okay? So that is Liquid Brun by French Avenue. Moving on to the next one, okay? I don't know what I'm doing on time. Oh, shoot, we at 21 minutes, y'all. I believe that God can redeem the time. Let's move on. Let's get through this. So the next one on the list is none other than Abiyehd Scarlet by Lattafa. Another Lattafa banger. My God, okay? Let me spell this one out. Listen, this one is a proceed with caution fragrance. This one is a do not be like me and wear this to church type fragrance, okay? Now, the problem is that's all I go to. I go to work in church because I ain't really got no life like that. We are working on that in 2026, okay? But I just really wanted to wear this one out, okay? But I wore it to church and was immediately self-conscious. I just was like, oh no, I think I messed up because there is a sex appeal to this said fragrance, okay? And I don't want to be putting nobody's man in no test and having them over the messed up, having a battle in their mind with the enemy, okay? We are not doing that around these parts. Now, if you're single and you just so happen to like what you smell, don't be shy, okay? It comes, I mean, I'm just saying. But this one is the one that will put people around you in a test. But this one is also a compliment magnet. Now, this one is duping or supposed to be giving you Christian Louis Vuitton's fragrance La Rose Fetiche, I believe. Fetiche La Rose. And I have not gotten my nose on that one just yet. Apparently, the only differences I'm hearing from this one and that one is that that one has a more syrupy cherry, which I can see because this one, you get the cherry, but it's also met with the rose. It's like it's balanced out a lot more, and it's not a super, super dark syrupy cherry. It's a dark cherry for sure, but it's not super sweet syrupy. So this one, however, I like. It gets my whole life together. It smells good. It gets you compliments. It may get you some stares, so proceed with caution. Yeah, that's Anna Abiyehd Scarlet for y'all, okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now we're going to be getting into some lighter, more uplifting fragrances, okay? Now, this one, to me, is one that caught me off guard, okay? This one just so happens to be Dulzura by Paris Corner, okay? And the reason being is because when I heard people talking about this one initially, they were saying that it was giving kind of, it was gonna put you in the mind frame or be somewhat of a dupe for that Cirque du Soleil fragrance. And they said it smelled like a carnival. And in my confusion, I was like, why would you want to smell like a carnival? When I leave a carnival, I want to take a shower because I don't want to smell like where I've been. Hey, some of y'all, what do the saints be saying? They say, I've been through fire, but I don't smell like smoke. Hey, okay, yes, okay. If you don't want to smell like smoke, don't get that Mashrabya though. But anyway, this was one of them that it was just like, why would I want to smell like carnival? I don't understand. Because when it comes to those salty caramel type fragrances and stuff like that, like the butters and stuff like that, I don't tend to do well with those type of fragrances. Like it's just a little bit too much for me. So I felt like this one was going to be like a dark one that turned into like a frou frou la la candy. I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand why we would smell good. But when I got a sample of it, because I just, everybody was screaming from the top of their lungs about this one. So I was like, let me at least get a sample, because that's more doable for me. I'd rather spend $5 on a sample than spend my money on a full bottle and be mad. So I got my nose on a sample, and when I sprayed out the sample, I was like, matter of fact, let's spray this one out right now so that, yeah, like, this one is brighter than I thought it would be. It's like an intoxicating caramel. You do still get the salty popcorn, buttery candy. Like, you do get all of that. For some reason, it makes sense in this. I don't understand why. Now, this is not going to be everybody's favorite. Like, when my best friend smelled this one, she said she was getting boo-boo. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, right? So some people are going to smell this and be like, what in the name? What is that going on? But for me, it was doing right. It was doing right. It was doing all the things that I needed. And it's beautiful. Like, I just, listen, matter of fact, let me layer that. Let me layer this one with the Mashrabya, because, listen, getting my whole life over here. Now, if y'all can't tell, your girl is getting sick, you know, because there's a little stuffiness happening in the nose. And so this is not making it better. And maybe I should not be spraying out each and every fragrance that I'm going through, especially since I'm going through 11 of these things throughout this video. But for some reason, your girl is hard-headed, and she must not care about the fact that she can't breathe right now. But yeah, on that note, I do have something I'm going to share with you guys at the end of this video. So stay tuned if you're just curious to know what that would be, in addition to my word of encouragement, of course, okay? But I have something to share about what to expect in the coming year from my channel. So stick around if you want to know, you know, or even fast forward if you're just curious and you ain't got time to be listening to me ramble. But yeah, I have something to share. Per my doctor's orders. So yeah, we'll talk about that at the end. But let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I think I'm getting to the end. We've come into the end of this road, all right? We got 5 more fragrances to go. All right, so without further ado, let me go on to the next one. And the next one on the list is Vanilla Voyage by Maison Asrar. Okay, now this one caught me off guard, okay? Because I saw that this one was going viral on the TikToks. And for some reason, I just don't trust TikTok viral fragrances. I don't know if it's just me, but I enjoy consuming fragrance content on YouTube just because I think I get a more nuanced opinion. Sometimes it feels like it's like groupthink a little bit on TikTok. I don't know. Am I the only one who feels that way? No shade. But it just feels like everybody is just hopping onto a trend on TikTok for some reason, in my opinion, okay? So when I saw this one going viral, I was just like, yeah, I could do without it. But then I go to the Middle Eastern store in Houston and I just wanted to just try this one. So I sprayed it on my hand. I forgot that I sprayed it on my hand, and when I got into the car, I kept smelling, and I'm like, that smells like Bianco Latte, but it smells way better. What did I spray? And I forgot that I had sprayed this one. I was very confused. I was like, which one did I spray? Was it the cream velvet? Like, which one? Was it the Taskine one? Like, it couldn't have been that one. What is going on? I was so confused because it was giving something so addictive that I did not get from the Eclairs of the world. And I just kept doing one of these. You know, I kept doing that. And I was just like, what did I spray? And then when I saw someone say that this one smelled kind of like Bianco Latte, but better, and when they started describing it, I was like, I must have sprayed Vanilla Voyage. Like, I gotta get it. And so, yeah, This one is a staple. There's something that is more caramelly about this one and smooth, in my opinion, to my nose. It's just something a lot more smooth. It's less lactonic, in my opinion. It's not as lactonic. It's more of a caramelly smooth one. So if you have not tried this one, you've not gotten your nose on it, get your nose on it. If you felt like Bianco Latte was a little bit too milky lactonic for you and you wanted something a little bit more sweet, well, not even so much sweet, but let me compare it to Eclair. Like if you felt like Eclair was just a little bit too, I don't know, like alcohol-y for you or whatever the case may be, and it wasn't sweet enough or it wasn't smooth enough, try this one out because I think you might like it. If you like the idea of the Eclairs of the world but want something just a little bit more intoxicating, in my opinion. But yeah, that's Vanilla Voyage. Let's move on to the next one before my camera overheats once more. Okay, so since we're on the vein of intoxicating fragrances, let me tell you about this next one that had me doing another one of these. You know, that just so happens to be Victoria by Lattafa. So we're back in the Lattafa land, okay? Now, Victoria is going to remind you of Devotion by Dolce & Gabbana, right? I have that one in my collection, a travel spray of it. But it was something about it that was just too cloying for me. Like, I really liked the scent profile, but it was just too cloying, like it was doing the most. And I didn't understand it. I felt like I wish it was just a tad bit toned back. And then Bath and Body Works had came out with their kind of idea of Devotion, like the lemon one that they had at one point. And I had that one, and what I realized was that I was pulling for that one more than I was pulling for actual Devotion. So I was like, there's something here. But there was something about the Bath and Body Works one that was just a little to me. There was some weird note in it that was throwing me off. So when I finally got my nose on this one, I said, this one is perfection. This one smells better than Devotion to me, in my opinion. And it's way more addictive and intoxicating than Devotion. There's something about it when it's on my skin. When this settles and dries down on my skin, it just does something when it meshes in with my body chemistry. It just starts to melt into the crevices. And then it just starts to elude something that's so magical in the air. It does this alchemy type of thing. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making sense to anybody, but it gets my whole life together. Like this one, when I layer it with this one, minutes aside, that's how I be feeling. You can't tell me nothing, okay? But let's move on and get through the rest of these fragrances, okay? Because we were supposed to be under 20 minutes and we're failing miserably. But that's neither here nor there. We can do it. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next one, okay? All right, so the next one on the list is another one that has been snatching my edge. This one over here. Because something happened on this side of my head when my edges, they just fighting for dear life. And I feel like this one has something to do with it. I don't know, okay? But this one just so happens to be Her Confession by Lattafa, once again. Out of all these fragrances that I've just named, for some reason, this one has gotten me the most compliments this year thus far. I don't know what it is, but this one is supposed to be a dupe of Blanche Bette, which is a very milky lactonic fragrance. And when I tried this one and compared it to Blanche Bette, it was giving me the same essence, if you will, but there was something about Blanche Bette that was just, it projected off my skin a lot more, okay? So I would say it was still giving me that scent profile, and it was still giving me that magic when it hits my skin, okay? And so when I wore this to the dentist, the person from the front desk in the front of the office came back to my room in the back of the office and said, "What do you have on? I need to know because I smell it from the front of the office." And I said, "Ma'am, Let me put you on. Hey, because this one is clearly giving what it's supposed to have gave, okay? Now, again, this may not be everybody's favorite, especially if you are not into electronic type fragrances, but this one is just the perfect perfumey, sweet milk, like giving land flowing of milk and honey type fragrance that I've ever gotten my nose on. Like, just beautiful. Okay, so yeah, Her Confession by Lattafa. So this next fragrance just so happens to be a fragrance that was out here causing fist fights on the entrance of nets. And that is none other than Vanilla Aura by Maison Asrar. Okay, now this one was causing some controversy because for some reason people wanted to compare it to Vanilla Planifolia by Guerlain. Okay, now that one just so happens to be a $700 fragrance. Okay, so the fact that you want to compare like a $40 fragrance to a $700 fragrance, that's wild in and of itself. Okay, so for me, my expectations, I believe, were level set going into this fragrance. But I think because some people were saying, oh my God, it's a one-to-one dupe for Vanilla Planifolia, and that just so happens to be a highly coveted fragrance because it's one that I've seen a lot of people talk about, but one that not many people have because of just how expensive it is. So I feel like because there was already an appetite for a dupe for that fragrance heavily, and then you had people on the enters of the net saying that this smelled just like this, for the people that got their nose on both and were expecting this one to smell just like that one, they were probably highly disappointed. And I think that's unfortunate because for me, it's a beautiful fragrance. I love it, okay? So it's become a love for me. And I'm glad that I did not listen to the critics of this one per se. And I tried it out for myself. Now, this is not going to be everybody's favorite because for me, it's giving root beer. I don't know. It's giving Coca-Cola. It's giving Dr. Pepper. I don't know why I'm getting that soda scent, but that's what I'm getting. But for some reason, I like it. It seems luxurious to me. For some reason, I don't know why. Like, it just gives something different. I haven't smelled anything like this. And maybe because I have not smelled Vanilla Planifolia, so I don't know what that one gives. But this one, it gets my whole life together. I don't know. I like it, okay? So it's definitely made my top 10 of the year. Not everybody's gonna like it, but if you are into those like vanilla-y type of scents, like maybe the Vanilla 28 or whatever the case may be, not saying that this smells like this. If anything, its sister, Vanilla Seduction, probably smells more like that. I haven't tried that one yet, but that's what the people on the streets was saying, okay? But if you like the vanilla-y, maybe woodsy vanilla type fragrances, like sweet caramel woodsy vanilla type fragrances, you may like this one. If you're into like a cakey gourmand vanilla, I don't think you will like this one because the people that I know who are into cakey vanillas, they don't like this one. So maybe that's helpful for you guys. I don't know, but that's my take on it, okay? So again, Vanilla Aura by Maison Asrar. Okay, so we are finally down to the last of my top 10 Middle Eastern fragrances that I've purchased this year. And I will say thank God because I've literally had to turn off my camera at least 4 times already filming this what was supposed to be less than 20-minute video, okay? And I don't know why it keeps overheating like this, but yeah, this is ghetto, so we got to figure something out. But we finally made it to the end. And this one, I don't know if I talked about it on my channel. I believe I may have at least once, and maybe a first impressions or something like that. But this one is none other than Peace and Love by Lattafa. Now, Peace and Love. Peace and Love is just a sweet, almost powdery, bright, slightly bubblegummy type fragrance. And I believe that's because it's featuring that tuberose note. It's like giving a slight fruit in the background, like bubblegummy, floral, bright, just elegant fragrance. Like, it's just giving elegance. Look at this bottle. What this bottle is giving is what this one giving. It makes you feel like luxury. And it's just so serene. Like, it gives me peace. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's something about this that it just puts you in this mind frame of, it's just gonna make you smell like luxury. And I don't know how else to describe that. This is one of the most luxurious scents that I've smelled from a Middle Eastern fragrance house. And I don't know, probably forever. Like, it's just so beautiful. And it's smooth. And it's a very uplifting fragrance, okay? So if you are looking for something that's gonna put you in a happy, uplifted, serene mood, but you still wanna smell elevated and luxurious, go ahead and get your nose on Peace and Love, because this one is giving all that it came in and clocked in to give, okay? All right, so that wraps up my top 10 Middle Eastern fragrance purchases of 2025. And this has been an incredible year for me in terms of just coming to the point of pursuing this passion that I love so much and coming online and finally doing something that I've wanted to do my entire life. Since YouTube became a thing, I've wanted a YouTube channel and I wanted to talk about things that I'm passionate about. But I kept trying to go into the lane of what my profession is, which is being an accountant, being a CPA, finance, talking about taxes, talking about all these things that I'm not the most passionate about. I am passionate about business, but what I've realized this year is that the part of business that I'm passionate about is the ability for people to build something that allows them to change their life, change the lives of others financially, monetarily, and give people a sense of purpose in being in their work. That's what I care about. So when I started realizing, like, I just care about doing something that brings me fulfillment, that brings me purpose, but also helping other people doing that, it just, everything clicked for me. And I've been in a happy space that I haven't been in my entire life because of just discovering my love for fragrances, my love for Jesus, and my love for this channel. So if you are someone who struggles just like I did with what you do for a living, if you have the Sunday scaries where you get depressed on Sundays and you may be one of them people that you have to go to church because that's the only thing that will give you the encouragement you need to face Sunday night, knowing that you have to wake up Monday morning to go to the place or to log on to the place that is hell on earth for you and your soul, right? If you are that type of person where you live for Fridays, but then the Friday is so quickly over because you realize that Monday is just right around the corner. If you're the type of person where you feel like this just can't be life, you know what I mean? Just because of your profession or the job that you have or the career that you're in, I want to employ you. Seek out Jesus, for real. Seek out the Holy Spirit, because if it was not for God, I promise you, I would not be here. Because there have been many of days that just the despair that I felt from just what I did for a living made me not want to live. And I had to hang on to God ever so tightly, not just for help to sustain me through it, but for guidance on what it is that I'm supposed to do. And that's what set me on a journey to eventually be doing what I'm doing right now. And I've never felt such a sense of joy and peace and fulfillment in my life. And I so desperately want to help other people do that. So I'm trying to figure out how in my schedule I can figure out how to help people tap into this joy that I found, this fulfillment that I found from finding out what it is that I love to do and finding my passion and finding out what it is that I am willing to put in extra time, what I'm willing to do after I clock out at 5 p.m., after I make it home and I'm dog tired at the end of the day, what it is that I'm willing to tap into to find extra energy to do, just so this could one day, some maybe, become my full-time career. Just the hope that that gives me is enough where it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be sweeping and mopping floors for all I care, and I'm still going to have a sense of joy just because I have this outlet. I have y'all who just make me feel like I've tapped into something. It's just, I can't, it's not, there's nothing else. Like, outside of God, there's nothing that can come close to that feeling. So that's it. That's my encouraging word for the day. And my announcement is that my doctor told me I gotta fast from fragrances in January. So yeah, we're figuring that out. Okay, we are going to batch. Best believe you're gonna have videos in January. Okay, don't worry. Okay, I'm about to batch, but we're gonna have to figure this out because apparently I got really bad allergies and nasal polyps, and apparently I'm not supposed to be smelling fragrances. But again, I told my doctor, like, you gotta figure this out. Because I told my doctor, okay, you don't understand, okay? This is the one thing that you cannot take away from me, okay? God. And God bless her soul, she said, I understand, this is your brand, but maybe you could become the fragrance influencer that taps into clean fragrances and starts a journey of trying to figure out what your nose can tolerate, given that you have severe allergies, where if you go one day without taking allergy medicine, you look like a puffish, and nasal polyps that have you up at night not able to breathe through your nose, because I want you to be able to breathe, said my doctor. Okay, and I want to be able to breathe too, but if I can't smell the beauty, you know, is breath really worth it? I'm just saying, okay? Now, I'm not out here, y'all don't have to worry. I'm not putting fragrances above my health. We're not doing that, okay? But we have to go on this journey where we figure it out in the month of January, and said after, in February, when we start reintroducing fragrances, I have to go on a journey to see if it is the case that I'm intolerant to some fragrances. And if that's the case, then I won't be able to wear my beloved Middle Easterns and all of those things as frequently as I may want to. And I may have to learn how to just batch it, where maybe 1 week in a month I spray and do all my things and find all my new discoveries, and maybe throughout the rest of the month I'm easy, you know, I'm chill. I don't know. We got to figure this out. And maybe I'll tap into some clean fragrance brands and see if my nose is more tolerant to that, or if my nose is just like, if just certain scents, like even if it's lavender, I don't care if it's an essential oil, if maybe lavender or pollens in the lavender is upsetting my nose, then I just have to figure that out, or figure out which fragrance notes I'm sensitive to, if at any at all. I don't know, but I'm going on this journey and I'm taking y'all with me. I will be documenting each and every day, you know, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be fiending. I might be in the corner itching like, Lord, help me out. Help me out. I might have some friends on speed dial for emotional support, because this might be a thing. I don't know. We're figuring it out, but yes. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't help that I like to spray out fragrances and breathe in the particles as if I don't already have a sensitivity. Again, be easy in the comments, y'all. Be easy, because your girl likes what she likes. I don't know, but apparently I like to breathe a little bit more. So yeah, so we're going on that journey. But that is it for this fragrance haul video of the day. I blew past 20 minutes. That's embarrassing. But I have faith that one day I will make it. Okay, say a prayer for you, girl. Okay, but yeah, that's it for today. I will see y'all in the next one. All right, bye.